5 video games that sold so much they're hotter than a trap house spoon on payday. Number 5, we have the golden era of Call of Duty. More specifically, these two. When these first open palm pimp slapped the industry back in 2009 and 2012, people thought this was the peak in FPS video game advancement. And after a decade of disappointing releases, they were absolutely right. Since then, Activision has tried numerous times to recapture the magic, the addictive gameplay, and sheer enjoyment that any of these titles brought us. Yet they have dropped us all headfirst into the Grand Canyon. Being a Call of Duty fan is so miserably painful. The cosmic size of these Call of Duty games during these 5 lovely years was not only the peak of the franchise, some might say the peak of the whole genre itself. Billboards, Mountain Dew bottles, Doritos, TV commercials that wasn't far from movies, and even Jeeps. Nothing and no one was safe from these games back then, and to quote one of the greatest commercials ever made, everyone is doing it. And that's really truly how it felt. From Call of Duty 4 all the way to Black Ops 2, Call of Duty sold over 154 million copies. To put that into a little thing us Americans call perspective, Madden started out well before I was born in 1988, and from then until 2018, Madden has sold 130 million copies. Madden didn't even touch in 30 years what Call of Duty did in 5, and that's what makes this game hot. And number 4, we have Skyrim. This might not surprise you considering it's been released on nearly every console made since Obama graced the toilet seat of the White House. But we're going to try out a new segment for this video called Needless Depressing Information. Skyrim's birthday is by far the easiest video game release date in history, 11/11/11. And with that being said, this game becomes a teenager this year. Tune in next time for more needless depressing information. This game has been released on 8 different consoles spanning over 3 console generations, and it has since then sold a mere 60 million copies, placing it in the top 10 best-selling video games list of all time. And when asked about it, Todd Howard said, "If you want us to stop releasing it, stop buying it." I myself, okay, get ready for this one. I've never beaten the game, but somehow I still own 4 copies. I don't even know how. I just have them. I have, however, whoa, my voice squeaked. Listen to the full soundtrack and hear me when I tell you that junk straight slaps harder than your mom. Number 3, we have another game that has also been released on 8 different platforms, unless you don't count Stadia. Then it's only 7. PlayerUnknown's Battleground, or as the new kids like to call it, Pubg. That was a bad joke. The game took us all by storm in the good month of Santa Claus back in 2017. The game was fresh, it was hip, and most importantly, it was different. It captured the phrase, lose by a little, win by a lot, to a T. But it was so popular, it has since then pretty much leaked into what feels like nearly every other franchise. Some for the better, but most for the worse. It sneaked. What's the past tense for sneak? Anyway, it crept onto the esports scene, and from there you can just imagine what happened with its popularity and competitiveness. Just went on a whole other level. But before it was converted over to the popular free-to-play platform with the cursed microtransactions, I hate those things. Pubg acquired 75 million copies sold. Whatever number we're on next, we have Wii Sports. You knew some crap was about to go down whenever you see these 2 guys at your door and they say,
"We would like to play."
Hard to imagine that this console is pushing 20 years old. There is no way. Yep, it came out in 2006. It's pushing 20 years old. Why do I feel like I've completely wasted my life? Back in 2006, this was some intergalactic ET type crap. But to this day, it's still kind of impressive. Kinda. The best thing about the game was everyone from your toothless diaper-wearing granny all the way to your grouchy, snotty-nosed little cousin not only could play this game, but they wanted to play it. And in fact, everyone wanted to play this game, because to this day, guess what Nintendo's #1 selling exclusive is? Any takers? Is it Mario? No. Is it Zelda? Yeah, not even close. Pokemon.
You're not just wrong, you're stupid.
It's Wii Sports. That's why it's on the list, because it has sold just shy of 83 million copies. Which, to think about it beating all of these other games, is just south of mind-boggling. So yeah, give it up to Wii Sports for helping families bond over video games, one household at a time. Finally, from the #1 spot, we have a beloved game hailing from the massive nation of Russia, the oh-so-popular Tetris. I feel like this game needs zero introduction, but screw it, you're going to get one anyway. Tetris instantly became a hit, giving OCD people wet dreams a decade before I was even thought of. Invented by this man, whose name that I can't even pronounce because I am painfully white, saw a boom in his game back around the Cold War era of history, being the first game ever to cross the pond over to the good old US of A. And for a game that experts claim can never be won, it really baffles me as to why so many people played it so much. Like my early years of dating, this game was played, and oh boy was it played a lot. Because if we look back at that little word that we talked about earlier, perspective, you can grab all the titles that we've talked about today, combine their total sales, and we're going to round up due to the fact of my simple brain, and you still are 148 million copies shy of matching up to the astronomical number that Tetris has done, which is 520 million copies. By the haunted halls of Hades, has everyone in existence since the mid-80s bought 5 copies apiece? Because that is insane. Also, fun fact, these are not called Tetris pieces like I have called them my entire life. They are called disorder. Well, that's the end of the list. I hope you liked it. Holy crap, I don't know how to end these things. I know there are plenty of other games out there that could have made the list, but I didn't want to put them on there. I wanted these. If you don't like it, then here are a few honorable mentions that are hot but for entirely different reasons. That's pretty much all I got for today. If you're still watching this, thank you. It's people like you that boost up my watch hours and make quitting one of my real jobs that much closer to a reality. You guys are awesome. Keep it up. Stay strong. Comment, subscribe, and like new videos whenever I find the time.